Good morning and welcome back. For this set of questions, I'm with my friend Troy O'Grady. You've probably recognized his name several times from all the Patreon credits. He also happens to be one of my best friends. I've known this schmuck since 5th grade.
About 20 years now, yeah.
Feel old. Anyways, he's a
Logistics specialist.
You know, he's been traveling around, and I figured he would have a couple cool perspectives on some of these questions. So, let's hop into it. If humanity was put on trial by an advanced race of aliens, how would you defend humanity and argue for its continued existence?
Well, I guess that would depend on what the charges are. I know there's been a few movies to where the basic idea is that it's been judged that humans are bad for the planet, that we're destroying it, and humanity is full of violence and ill will, and that the bad always overshadows the good. So the point is that it's not worth for humanity to exist. It'll only continue to be bad, so let's just wipe it out. So I guess if we're going on that idea or something similar, my defense would be to look at the good. I would try to bring that into focus the best that I can. Highlight everything I could as to why we should still exist. You look at the bad, but you look at the way we help each other, the way we treat each other. If I can narrow this down a little bit, look at religion. People have argued maybe religion should be eradicated because religion breeds indifference, it breeds violence. There have been wars forever that have been fought for religious purposes. Religion brings people together. It unites people. It gives people purpose and hope and drive and feelings of happiness that they may not have. So,
yeah, I mean, I know several marriages that were saved just by religion, faith that this is what is going to happen. This is how it works out, regardless of how we feel right now. There is a higher purpose, there's a higher power, and we need to just trust in that.
I would also want to know why this advanced alien race feels that they would have jurisdiction over us to put us on trial in the first place. It's simply because they're more advanced. They come down and they say, well, we think that humanity isn't right for this planet. Well, I would say, okay, well, how are you guys so perfect?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could do that kind of stark contrast.
You're going to have to have contrast for something to make a judgment.
There are two things that I would like to bring up. The first one is, and I know I'm a nerd, guys, so just let the comments fly. In the Star Trek Enterprise series, there are the Qs, which are a omnipotent, eternal race. They're more or less gods. And they do put humanity on trial. And they can see into the future and see that humanity could become this awful blight on the entire galaxy. As we advance our technology, as we can move faster, and the way Picard got out of it, and they were continuously on trial throughout the series, is regardless of how bad things were, he always showed the good of humanity. And that's what it comes down to. And I think the worse things get, the better humanity is. Humanity doesn't show itself, doesn't show its true potential in the everyday mundane things. Humanity shows its true potential under strife and in war. That's when you get heroes from normal people. That's when great people are born. And it's horrible that that's what it takes to bring it out in us. But think about, all the amazing people that went into World War II.
I think about all the amazing people that came out of it, that didn't think they had the potential to do anything before they did, and all the good that came out of it.
Yeah, they were set up to be the millennials, basically. And through that, they became the greatest generation. And that's all through strife. Strife is a crucible that forces us to be at our best. And I know this isn't, one of the funnier topics, but it's true. Just look at the people And as unfortunate as it was that they were placed there, some of the stories that have come out of the concentration camps about
This
people.
reminds me of your video about struggle or suffering being necessary to grow as a stronger person. You factor in the Great Depression, followed by World War II. Those who were young and fought at the time, or were involved at the time, grew up as children in the Depression. I mean, that is basically almost leading up to the point of that war for those young people. That was their entire life had been suffering in one way or another.
Yeah.
So, yeah, huge development, huge way for them to learn to help each other.
And it was a crucible that forged them into these amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
And even today, meet a World War II vet, talk to them.
Yeah.
They are some of the most amazing people. Even if they're 80, 90 years old, talk to them. And that's how that's how I would defend humanity is, yeah, there's bad stuff that happens, but every species has a past. Everyone has a past.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so how could they be so great that they never had anything bad happen to them? Were they always just these perfect things? And now that they're considering committing a genocide against an entire race, an entire species? No.
No, I think it's, it's really hard to say because I feel like I've never really had the opportunity to be in one of those situations to where a massive strive for struggle has forced me to show my true colors of whether or not I would do something great to help humanity or run and hide. I'd like to think it'd be the former, but it's, I definitely would say that you can't, if anything, even if their judgment were to be that's not good enough, it definitely can't be ignored.
No. You never know until you try.
And nobody ever wants to really be in such a horrifying situation that such actions are required, but it's going to happen. Nobody wants to be there when a building is being blown up by someone else and then you're trying to dig children out of the rubble, but it happens.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't have heroes without villains.
No. Most people who end up becoming a hero, they don't view themselves as heroes.
No, they don't.
Think of themselves that way.
It was just right person, right time.
Mm-hmm.
However, that doesn't negate the fact,
that it happened in the first place. Again,
Yeah.
Humanity, you can have good and bad. You can't have one without the other,
No.
unfortunately.
What do you guys think? How would you defend humanity? At the end of the day, should we even be saved with everything that's going on in the world? Let me know. So guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys coming out. This is cool that I'm able to have these discussions with you. And, if you haven't yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you found value in this video in particular, hit the like button. Both of them really help me out a lot more than you think. And it's cool seeing the numbers grow. At the time of this recording, I have 187 subscribers.
Nice, almost at 200.
I know, right?
You got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
Hey, you're moving up.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah.
So, by the time this last video airs, I hope I do hit that 200 mark or I'm over it. Ideally, I'd get to 1,000.
That'd be sweet.
So I can monetize again.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, guys, if you can, and this is no pressure, it really isn't, please consider going over to my Patreon, and $1 a month even helps me out a world, and that's less than a cup of coffee per month to help me succeed and help me, become self-sufficient. Really, just be able to bring in more content better. Please consider subscribing to that as well if you can. If not, no pressure, it's completely cool. I'll still make videos, don't worry, because I really do enjoy this.
Oh, I know you do. This has been fun.
So also, if you like Troy here, this little weird mook that I have sitting next to me, let me know, because I'll have him back on. Apparently he's around in this area to stay, so
I'm here for good.
let me know. I'll have him back on. So guys, thanks for watching, and remember, always be thoughtful.